Hey, it's Caitlin, and I'm here with the Black Friday sale details from Great Lakes Lacquer, as well as swatches of polishes that are going to be available during the sale. The Great Lakes Lacquer sale starts on November 23rd. I will include the specific time down in the description and any other important details you might want to know. But one of the important details I want to share is that these polishes are not going to be offered on an unlimited pre-order. If things sell out, they sell out, so shop early if you want anything that you see. So I'm going to be swatching the 2020 quad, which might look familiar because it was out in 2020, but they're all 2.0 versions, so they're different. And I've also got the new Black Friday trio. That's a lot of information, and I will recap it all in the description. So let's get into the swatches. We will start by looking at the Black Friday trio, which is actually inspired by Mariah's current hair melt, which I had to Google because I don't know what a hair melt is, but I guess it's when you do a gradient from light to dark. So first up is Thanksgiving Vibes, and this one is described as, is it orange? Is it mustard? All Mariah knows is that it screams the bottom part of her hair. This one is burnt orange filled with a pink to orange to gold shifting iridescent flake, as well as black to red microflake. So this one has a really nice formula, and I really liked the squishiness to it. I personally thought it covered well in 2 coats. However, if your visible nail line is very visible, you might want 3. I was happy with it in 2. This one didn't cause any sort of staining, and it just had a tiny bit of texture from the flakes, but they smoothed out completely with top coat, and I am using Cuticula Limitless top coat for all of my swatches in this video. You can probably already get a bit of a taste for the shifts in the iridescent flake. They're really, really pretty, and this is definitely an orange polish in my opinion, and it's very, very festive, very fun. It doesn't lean too deep into the Halloween territory. It's definitely staying more in the fall foliage Thanksgiving category, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Next up we have Melting Fuchsia. This one is a magenta base with purple to pink and orange shifting shimmer. So I thought that I might like this one in the bottle, but I wasn't feeling overly strong about it. But when I put it on my nail, I was completely blown away. I think it was a combination of the amazing formula and also the actual color of this. So obviously we've probably all seen a fair share of fuchsia, but this one is just really special, and I don't fully know why. Probably because of the shimmer in there, but it's just a really, really beautiful shade of fuchsia. It's really perfect, and I don't know, it was perfect in 2 coats. I think most people would be good with it in 2. It didn't cause any staining, and it dries quite shiny, but I still recommend top coat. You can hear the water running through the pipes in my house. It's not me peeing on the toilet. Anyway, this polish, thankfully the sun was out when I was swatching most of these, so you can just see how pretty and shifty this one is. It's honestly gorgeous. It's really bright, very pinky, very purpley. It's really something special, and I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did, but here I am gushing about it, and I can only imagine having hair that looks this cool. And lastly, we have Holiday Hair. This one is a deep royal purple with a red to orange to gold shifting shimmer. This one is really pretty. It has a really pretty base color, and the shimmer is super intense in this one. It has really nice coverage and a very easy to work with formula. This one, I didn't experience any staining, but if you're prone to it or concerned about it, I would still use a good base coat with this one just because it is really pigmented, but you should be good. Just a precaution because it's so beautifully pigmented, but I didn't see any signs of staining personally. I can't wait for you to see the shifts in this one, but this also dries down quite shiny, but I still recommend a good glossy top coat. And the shimmer in this one is so sparkly, it almost looks like there's a little bit of glitter or hollow in there. There isn't, it's just a really sparkly shimmer pigment. And this is definitely also a very festive polish. It's interesting because it's purple, but the shimmer in it almost makes it look red in certain lighting, and you can see here in the sun, it's like reddy, fuchsia-y, purpley, depending on how you catch it. But when you get it out of the direct lighting, it definitely looks more red-orange. So it's a really interesting polish. Now we are moving on to the Black Friday reintroduction of a 2020 quad of polishes that were created in 2020. These are just so pretty. They're not like your typical multi-chromes. It's created with beautiful shimmer and hollow, and they're all 2.0 versions of the original. So the first one is SSDD. I'll let you Google what these mean, but they're naughty words. This one's a black and violet with a shimmery silver with a shift to red and orange. This version 2 has a stronger linear holographic instead of the scattered hollow in the original. And I really do like the choice of using a linear hollow in these ones. I think it's so beautiful and works so well. This polish is just beautifully pigmented. I didn't experience any staining with this one, and it does dry down a tiny bit dull because of whatever reason, but with any hollow, you want to apply top coat, let it dry so you can see the hollow in all of its glory. And this one blew me away with its shifts. So it looks red and fuchsia and purple depending on the angle. Other times it's totally purple. It's just a beautiful, beautiful polish with a really deep, rich base to it. And as I said, that hollow really, really pops. Next up is No More Beer Holding Revisited. And this one is a dirty army green featuring a strong red pop and linear holographic. So this one is a completely different version than the original Hold My Beer. And Mariah says she will lose it if someone says Hold My Beer one more time. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say that in real life, but I'm really glad I don't know people who say that because it just, yeah, it's not my thing. Not my vibe, not my scene. So this polish has another beautiful formula. It applies just gorgeously and is totally opaque in 2 coats. I think most people will be happy with it in 2 coats. It has an almost jelly-like finish to it, which I really think is beautiful. It creates like a really squishy effect. And I just went in for a 3rd coat on my middle finger because I went thinner for some reason. So you might need 3 depending on how you polish. But this does dry really, really shiny. I think it's because of that almost jelly-like base. And again, apply top coat to help enhance the hollow. Let it dry and you'll just get this beautiful rainbowy effect. I love these polishes because they have linear hollow, but they're not silvery at all. And that's one of the things that I don't like about linear hollows is how silvery they can look, and these do not look silvery. You can very clearly see that red shimmer. It looks like a cocktail olive. Is that what they're called? pimento olive. Maybe it's a pimento olive. I love that. Super festive, and it's just so pretty, and I'm so glad the sun was out to show these ones off. Moving along, we have WTAF version 2. This one is a smoky navy with a silvery green shift to red. This one includes a linear holographic finish, and same great formula, goes on super easy, and I absolutely love the smoky navy base. I don't see it often. I'm trying to recall, I really don't see anything like this in my collection, and I haven't seen one in a while from any makers, but I'm super happy to see it right now. It's beautiful, and again, obsessed with the linear hollow in this. So well done, so beautiful. Thankfully, these are all quite different from their original, so if you do have the original 2020 quad, you can definitely justify getting this new version because they're all different. And I don't have the originals to compare, I just have seen photos. Again, top coat to bring out that holographic effect. And you can see here in the sun, that dusty navy is beautiful. The shimmer in there is really pretty. It's red. It kind of gives a purple tint to the polish at times. So sometimes it looks navy, sometimes it looks red, sometimes it looks purple. And wow, when the sun hits it, the hollow is just magnificent. There's also a bit of green shift at certain angles, which is really fun. And last but not least, we have FTFS version 2. This one is a deep moody cranberry with a silvery lean that leads to a blinding red. This one also has a linear holographic finish, and this one, Mariah says, if there is a polish that encompasses me, this is it. And honestly, what a great tribute to herself. This is a stunning polish. It has a beautiful formula. I didn't experience any staining with it. The base color is gorgeous. The hollow is gorgeous, and as you will see, the shifts in this one are breathtaking. This one is so beautiful, and I love the formula. Again, this one dries pretty shiny, but you want the top coat to bring out the hollow as much as possible. And I can't wait for you to see the shifts in this one. So here it's practically a red, even though it gets really deep in certain lighting. My camera was not doing this one justice. It's so glowy and beautiful. It's super moody, super vampy, and I just love the red shift in it. So if you're a fan of red nail polish or anything vampy, kind of oxbloody, this one is going to be right up your alley. I love it so much. So I'm back and it's a different day. I kind of screwed up on my outro, so I'm refilming it. Talking about my favorites from the Great Lakes Lacquer Black Friday releases, Melted Fuchsia, obviously. Amazing formula, so shifty and purpley and pinky. It's just gorgeous. And honestly, I like so many of these. WTAF, that one is so pretty. The blue base, I love, like a navy blue, and this one's kind of dusty. So I do absolutely love that polish. And if I'm being critical, I'll try to keep it to 3. I'll do 4 because I have to be honest. SSDD is so shifty and beautiful. The hollow in these polishes is the hollow that I'm used to. It's not like a cheaped out version of hollow. It's super rainbowy and prismatic. It's gorgeous. And the last one is FTFS. I obviously love that red shift. It's super, super intense. And once again, the hollow in there is so beautiful, tiny, sparkly, and rainbowy. So let me know what you think of these Great Lakes Lacquer offerings. Just a reminder again that these are going to be limited, so shop early if you don't want to miss anything. And yeah, I guess that's it for me. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.